Alrighty, if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I'm kind of a weenie. I like when the wrestlers have very long careers. I like when they're safe, right? I don't want to see someone break their neck jumping off a ladder or some shit at 25 and then be paralyzed for the rest of their, living years. So I like when the wrestlers are still around. And apparently, we've got a list of 10 wrestling legends you won't believe are still wrestling today. Now, I want to see this. The thumbnail of this video had Tajiri on it, and if you know Tajiri, you know that guy was cool. So, that's what we're checking out today. If you guys like to check out the original upload of this content, click the top link in the description. If you want to react to content with us live on Twitch, you know where to find that link. Little ones, get the hell out of here. I don't react to content with little ones in mind. I use very strong language, and I don't want you getting in trouble. With that being said, if the algorithm brought you to me, hang out with me for like 15 minutes. Can you do that? Can you give me 15 minutes of your time? If you don't, I'll take it. I'll take your 15 minutes. Thank you. Let's get started.
The idea of retirement in wrestling is taken about as seriously as I would be at the Mr. Universe contest. Wrestlers hang, unhang, and then re-hang up their boots with such frequency it's amazing that anybody ever actually steps away from the ring. These performers are all living proof of that, as they're all still going despite some rather remarkable circumstances. Most of the names on this list are here because
Alright, I just have to actually pause the video and go back. Oh, man. Oh, what are we doing? We've reached the age where the mouth is hanging open and stuff. Are we still out there taking bumps? Oh, Rick. Oh, Rick, no. For me, this ended at that, I'm sorry I love you. I don't like this.
Despite some rather remarkable circumstances. Most of the names on this list are here because of their advancing age, with some exceptions, so prepare to feel ashamed while hearing about pensioners who could still handily kick your ass.
I'm
Manu Tajiri from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are 10 wrestlers you won't believe are still wrestling today. Join us. Number 10, Shane Douglas. Much was made of the fact that former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Shane Douglas decided to trade in his spandex for a shirt and smart shoes and leave professional wrestling for a gig at Target. The franchise hadn't left wrestling for good, however, and has actually been pretty darn active over the course of the last 15 or so years. Now bending bones at age 60, Douglas wrestled a not inconsiderable 41 matches in 2024 alone, according to CageMatch.net.
Yo, Shane, you bored? Like, what the fuck? Are you, yo, that's kind of impressive though. Like, even like a match per week, he got most of the weeks out of the year. That's kind of crazy.
These included a tour of Canada, a bunch of matches for regional outfits like Appalachian Championship Wrestling, an appearance in a GCW Rumble, and even a dog collar bout with old rival Gary Wolf, aka Pitbull #1. Given his age and extensive injury history, it's quite incredible that Shane is still out there doing his thing. With his vast experience and extensive knowledge, it will at the very least be good to have him in locker rooms so that he can impart wisdom on the young up-and-comers he shares the ring with on the indies, even if he does wrestle in trackies and a sweatshirt for obvious reasons. Number 9, Manu. Son of Anawahi family patriarch Afa, Manu is best remembered for a storyline where he was made to look a right tit. The big guy was originally in the running to join Randy Orton's Legacy faction in 2008, following a strong debut at the Unforgiven pay-per-view. Unfortunately, only Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. made the cut, so Manu and Sim Snooker were booted out of the group before it officially formed. Clearly, being a second-generation superstar wasn't the only requirement for this stable. You had to have abs you could grate cheese on as well. Following his WWE release in 2009, Manu returned to the independent scene, including World Extreme Wrestling, the promotion owned by his dad. He had multiple matches in 2024, including ones with Tommy Dreamer, Hernandez, and the former Bull Dempsey. If you didn't realize Manu, who works as Alpha Jr., was still active, you may have heard about him allegedly shooting on an inexperienced opponent during a match on an Outlaw Pro show. Yeah, I'm sure that'll get you a spot in the bloodline, mate. Number 8, Ultimo Dragon.
Damn,
if
bro.
you only know Ultimo Dragon as the guy that slipped while making his entrance at WrestleMania 20, then you are seriously missing out. And you're a Philistine too. The Masked Legend is one of the most important junior heavyweights in wrestling history, helping to popularize the hybrid Japanese-Mexican style that became popular during the 90s and endures to this day.
You got it right,
he won
Tanger.
several titles in WCW during his time there, and there's also that picture of him with like 20 different belts, which is
This is unnecessary aura. This is legit just the Infinity Stones. You're like, my mans, give those back. But whoever you took them from, give those back. All right, no, give them back.
one of the coolest photos ever taken. The innovator of the Asai moonsault is currently signed with Dragon Gate, an offshoot of the Toriumon promotion he founded over 2 decades ago. As well as serving as a trainer and senior consultant, Dragon regularly gets in the ring, mostly in tag matches. He even makes occasional trips to the US too, including for a series of matches in 2024 where he tagged with Mustafa Ali. He might be getting up there in years, he turned 58 in December of 2024, but Dragon still looks like he could absolutely eat you for lunch. Sure, he's not as quick or flexible as he used to be, but considering how many other wrestlers his age regularly embarrass themselves between the ropes, things could be much worse. Number 7, Super Crazy. When Mr. and Mrs. Crazy
What?
Don't be shy.
He's still wrestling? Wait a minute. Yo, bro definitely like banished himself from WWE. We heard about in that other video. Cause the price was too much to keep it up, but like he's still out there to this day in 2025? What the fuck?
decided to name their newborn son Super, they surely knew they were setting him up for a career in the squared circle. Innovative luchador Super Crazy caught the eye of many in ECW as part of a legendary 3-way rivalry with Little Guido and somebody else we'll be talking about a little bit later. In WWE, he's best known for his time with the Mexicools, a faction that didn't win anything but came down to the ring riding.
That's still crazy to me, by the way. Like that's still crazy to me. They really had them riding out on lawnmowers. Oh boy. Oh gee. Well.
Lawnmowers, which is way cooler than any championship belt anyway, right? Crazy left WWE in 2008 and has been all over the place since. He made a splash overseas for companies like Pro Wrestling Noah and All Japan, as well as for various promotions in his native country. At the age of 51, he's still going strong, competing at a similar pace to his.
Oh hell yeah. 51 doing moonsaults? I gotta give it up for you. He putting his all into that shit. Alright, my man, what's going on with these though? He got the shoe polish mutton chops on back there. You almost got away with that too. Never mind the pickles in the crowd, right? But no, what the fuck, man?
Glory days in the late 90s. In 2024, he wrestled for Noah, AAA, The Crash, Defy, and GCW, where he had a pay-per-view bout against Speedball Mike Bailey in October. Showing no signs of slowing down, Super Crazy's insane schedule is more than living up to his in-ring moniker. Number 6, Too Cold Scorpio. Not only is Too Cold Scorpio, or Flash Funk if you prefer, still intermittently wrestling, but he also still pretty much looks exactly the same as he did in the mid-90s. The groundbreaking high flyer won multiple championships across ECW and WCW during the 90s and was part of the Job Squad in WWE, the greatest undercard stable this side of 3MB. Scorpio has been wrestling consistently since his heyday, even as he approaches his 60th birthday. He had 16 matches in 2024, including 2 for GCW. Both were on pay-per-view, and the latter was against Joey Janela, which he won! He had another pay-per-view bout for a different company against his old buddy Juventud Guerrera, but his biggest achievement happened for a promotion called Super.
Who would be happy about someone else's head shape, man? Is it the ears that stick out? Like, I don't know. I want to draw him. Can I draw him?
but powers of wrestling. On April 7th, he defeated Homicide to win the SPO Heavyweight Championship, and then he lost it a few minutes later, but that's besides the point. Of course, the man who popularized the 450 splash must be thinking about other things besides accepting bookings nowadays, given the serious legal situation he found himself in last year, but for now, there's every chance he could pop up at your local indie. Number 5, Aja Kong. Getting her start in 1986, Aja Kong established herself as a major force in Japanese women's wrestling thanks to her impressive size and strength. Success in All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling led to work in other companies and...
Yo, she about to kick the shit out of her spine. Yeah, cool. Oh, you can't even try to no-sell this. You about to... Yo, that shit about to def make you lose at least 1 inch of height. You tough to lose at least 1 inch of height when that shit connects. She can't live properly after hitting this.
All over the world, including for WWE during the mid-90s. She's continued to wrestle since then, notably making a handful of appearances for AEW alongside Billy Gunn, Dustin Rhodes, and Bret Hart. That is 4 people that were on camera for both Survivor Series 1995 and the first Double or Nothing. Not an important factoid, granted, but a suitably weird one. Kong is still regularly kicking ass and taking names at the age of 54, mixing it up with women half her age in various rings across Japan. She's also wrestled for GCW, Stardom, and Pro Wrestling Eve in 2024, showing that there's still a demand to book the trailblazing powerhouse. And you know what? If WWE want to, say, bring her in for a surprise Rumble appearance, I wouldn't be against the idea. Number 4, Tajiri. That's right, it's the other guy from those ridiculously fun ECW 3-way dances. Yeah. Tajiri is a recognizable face to any WWE fan of a certain age. Joining the promotion during the Invasion storyline, the Japanese buzzsaw won multiple titles and formed a memorable love-hate partnership with William Regal. Seriously, I still have no idea whether or not they actually get on. Since WWE, Tajiri has returned to his native country, wrestling for the likes of All Japan, New Japan, Wrestle One, and competed for American indies like MLW and CZW.
I did not know that.
He made a brief comeback to the Fed as part of the Cruiserweight Classic and currently works for Kyushu Pro Wrestling, a non-profit promotion. He won the company's top title in 2023 and continues to appear for them at 54 years of age, his name value being a huge asset to the venture's charitable campaigns. The master of moves like the tarantula and handspring elbow worked over 50 matches last year alone, a hell of an effort by a man who clearly believes in the regional independent league he calls home. Number 3, the Barbarian. Famous for tagging with the Warlord in WWE and Meng in WCW, the Barbarian has spent a lot of time surrounded by some very scary men. Also known as Sion in some circles, Barbie stuck around in Ted Turner's promotion until its final full year, being released from his contract in 2000. Though he's never returned to a major company, he's also never been short of work, often turning up at indie shows up and down the country. Notable highlights from this run include him participating in Chikara's King of the Trios tournament in 2012, where he faced a team that included the Young Bucks, as well as his ventures into deathmatch wrestling, which have included several run-ins with Nick Gage. At the age of 66, Barbarian is still very much going. He even occasionally reunites his old Powers of Pain and Faces of Fear tag teams, but Warlord and Haku are on much lighter schedules than their face paint.
I wouldn't even. I wouldn't count Haku / Meng out of nothing. He could be 80 years old on a stretcher, tied up, and I would still be scared for my safety. I would still be scared for my safety. I wouldn't want nothing to do with this man, bro. How you get him to get up and fucking wrestle somebody at this age, bro? Stop. Stop. And they said bro was 66 himself. Stop. Stop. Sit down. It's okay. My man did not have like a retirement plan. He was like, I'm about to be doing this shit till the wheels fall out, bro. I'm about to slam this about somebody.
Pal. It's remarkable that somebody of the Barbarian's vintage is still able to have a great career in pro wrestling, but then who are you to say no if he wants a spot on your show? I mean, just look at him for goodness sake. Number 2, Tatsumi Fujinami.
He still was good for 66.
In 1972, Tatsumi Fujinami was...
The fact that bro picture is black and white for this entry, Yo, the fact that his picture is black and white for this entry, and he looked like he at least 25 right here. Yeah, this, what the fuck going on?
Number 2, Tatsumi Fujinami. In 1972, Tatsumi Fujinami was one of a group of wrestlers who followed Antonio Inoki to his new promotion, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Over 50 years later, and 2 years after Inoki's death, Fujinami is still competing regularly at the age of 71. According to Cage Match, the second ever IWGP Heavyweight.
Yo, 71 out there in just the trunks. Just the trunks. My man said, you gonna see what I've been working on this whole time. I'm still a wrestler. Fuck we talking about? Didn't I still wrestle?
Champion wrestled 17 matches in 2024. This included a match for All Japan where he shared the canvas with their ace Kento Miyahara and a singles bout against Hiromu Takahashi that lasted over 15 minutes. I honestly don't know how that's even physically possible. This is the guy who won the G1 Climax in 1993, who won the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Award for Most Outstanding Wrestler in 1998, who had major rivalries with Inoki, Riki Choshu, and Big Van Vader. He is a living connection to a time in wrestling that feels like centuries ago, and he's still putting his body on the line for the sport he so clearly loves.
Dude, the stories this guy could probably tell. Yo, the stories this guy could tell, though. Oh my god. I would love to fucking pick his brain. Like, yo, bro, how? Like, you got to see fucking the whole industry change around you, like, for real, for real.
I don't know whether to stand up and applaud or get on my knees and beg him to stop, but for the meantime, let's just bask in the insane glory of the man known as the Dragon. Number 1, Tony Atlas. As well as somehow being one of the weird...
Tony Atlas is still wrestling? What? Nah, this gotta be like a technically, like he pops up once every 3 years to do like a clothesline or something. Ain't no fucking way.
Weirdest parts of that Netflix Mr. McMahon documentary, Tony Atlas is also a history-making professional wrestler. Alongside Rocky Johnson, Mr. USA became one half of the first ever black WWE Tag Team Champions in 1983. Despite the company trying to ruin his reputation with the god-awful Saba Simba gimmick, Atlas continued on and is still going to this very day. Black Superman wrestled 5 matches in 2024, including one that took place 3 days after his 70th birthday. He competed in a Battle Royal on a Legend show that also included our old friends Ultimo Dragon and the Barbarian, and in a Rumble that also featured AEW's Bulk Bronson and the man formerly known as Palmer Cannon in WWE. Remember Palmer Cannon? No? Alright then. Sure, he might need to be hidden in multi-man brawls, but the fact that Atlas can still be involved in wrestling at all is a testament to his physical condition. 2024 marked 50 years since he made his debut, and it doesn't look like he's planning on calling it quits anytime soon.
That is actually insane. Bro said AARP Rumble, November, you're on punishment, you're on timeout. Didn't it stand in the corner? Look, that's not right. Alright, I definitely did not know most of these, and I'm actually kind of surprised at, like, how, like, a lot of this list was, like, the Japanese wrestlers, because, like, I know Japanese wrestling is, like, really stiff, right? Like, they definitely got that style where, like, it looks like they're smacking the shit out of each other, but I guess they have a way to, like, protect each other in doing that, too, when telling the story, so I guess that's safer than the stunt show that we see in the other promotions, where we're getting the Kevin Owens going through ladders and shit every other day. Yeah, they'll smack the shit out of each other in Japan. That's the truth. But this video, actually, I clicked for it because of Tajiri, but I'm surprised to hear, like, Tony Atlas is still out there. Like, what the fuck are you doing? 50 years after your debut? Like, huh? What? Anywho, I love the content on Cultaholic. If you guys like to check them out, please look at the top link in the description. They have amazing lists. Love them, love them, love them. And if you want to react to content with me live on Twitch, you know where to find that link. Come on, come on. You become part of the flock, right? You can be one of the crows. We'll even give you a crow name. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, I guess once you become a Japanese pro wrestler, you win there for life. But unless you retire on your own terms or get signed to another promotion, then it's good luck. Yeah, super crazy still being in there doing flips and shit, bro. Oh, what? Ow, what?